Just 1 week after the Hungaroring, the Grand Prix scene has moved from Hungary to Austria to the Österreich-Ring. And this is the circuit that the drivers really love. There are no first gear corners. The fast sweepers, speeds of up to 215 miles an hour and a lap record of nearly 160 miles an hour. It's now the fastest circuit of them all, and it's absolutely critical in the World Championship. Nelson Piquet ahead for the drivers from Ayrton Senna in second position, with in third place tying Nigel Mansell and Alain Prost. In fifth position it's Stefan Johansson, and in sixth place Gerhard Berger. Williams have an enormous lead in the Constructors' Championship ahead of McLaren, who have got Lotus just behind them and Ferrari in a poor fourth place. So in pole position for the Austrian Grand Prix for the second time this year, Nelson Piquet. Second is teammate Nigel Mansell, once again on the front row of the grid. Third, the Ferrari of Gerhard Berger, ahead of the two Benettons of Thierry Boutsen fourth and Teo Fabi fifth. Sixth, the Ferrari of Michele Alboreto. Senna is seventh, Patrese is eighth, world champion Alain Prost is in ninth place. Derek Warwick is 11th on the grid, Martin Brundle is 17th, Philippe Alliot is the fastest 3.5 litre car at 22nd, and Jonathan Palmer is 24th in his Tyrrell. And away they surge. Good start for Piquet, good start for Mansell, and into third position sprints Teo Fabi by passing the Ferrari of Gerhard Berger. And as you see, as usual, as very often here, there is a shambles as two cars. One of the Ligier spin off, and now the other one was one of the two Zakspeed, so it is either Brundle or Danner. I think it was Martin Brundle. Well, there is the answer. There is Jonathan Palmer, whose race was a very short one indeed. Piquet leading, and the Benetton Ford up into second position, and a black flag is being waved. Now we'll see them come down, and the race is being started, and there is the reason. Jonathan Palmer's Tyrrell is in a dangerous position. That is Pier Carlo Ghinzani, the unfortunate Italian who, for one reason or another, never seems to finish a Grand Prix. So here is the replay. Let's look and see if we can sort out what happened. There, Martin Brundle's losing control and going straight into the Armco on the left. And behind him, you can see Arnoux is swerving. He hits Nannini. And there is Philippe Streff. That flash from the engine means he's in trouble. He swerves, and he's hit by Jonathan Palmer, and both the Tyrrells are badly damaged. And as they form up for the restart of the Austrian Grand Prix after that multiple crash earlier on, amazingly, it looks as though all 26 competitors are restarting, although several of them, of course, will be in their spare cars. 52 laps, and Piquet scorches away. Mansell is left, and he's left very badly indeed. Look how he's being passed, and there's another coming together, a car dragging along the Armco, 3 of them out, and one of them is Stefan Johansson, and there's a Ferrari down there, and they're all over the circuit. This is far worse than the first one. Streff is in trouble again. Fabre is in trouble again. Alliot has stopped. There's at least 6 cars. Jonathan Palmer has stopped, but his car looks perfectly okay. Christian Danner has stopped. Well, this has to be some sort of condemnation, I think, of the Austrian circuit here. Is it wide enough? This is the second time it's happened. Here then is the second start. Now watch, there's Nigel Mansell's car, which is dragging along, and you see the others charging up to him. Now you see Eddie Cheever coming up alongside, and there is the Brabham of De Cesaris turning into him. Johansson goes into Cheever's arrows, and the rest just pile up solidly behind. Now you see Capelli in trouble again. He goes sideways on the circuit, and Pascal Fabre's car leaps arch, and that goes into the... This incredible picture shows in the foreground, in the blue helmet, Philippe Streff, and in the Charo car, which is the AGS, Pascal Fabre has leapt over the top of Philippe Alliot's Lola, and you can see Alliot getting out of the cockpit, and on the right in the turquoise-coloured car is Ivan Capelli. For the third time, off come the tyre warmers from Thierry Boutsen's Benetton in fourth position on the grid, as he, like everybody else, hopes that the Austrian Grand Prix will at last be getting underway nearly 1.5 hours after it was supposed to. Two men will not be starting, Alex Caffey and Philippe Streff. And quite a lot of people will be starting from the pit lane, including world champion Alain Prost and Ferrari's Michele Alboreto. It's a long drag. They've got their clutches out. It's much too long, but they get away. Piquet's good. Berger is ahead of Mansell. Boutsen's ahead of Mansell. And Senna is left on the line. Senna came out in the spare car, and he had clutch problems, and he's left badly. But now we've actually got a start for the Austrian Grand Prix. Piquet, Boutsen, then the rest up. From the pit lane have got away. Piquet leading round the long right-hander up to the fastest part of the course. 215 miles an hour is the speed that they go down to the Bosch curve in, and there is the leader. It's Piquet, Boutsen, Berger, Mansell and Fabre coming up to take Mansell.
And once again, Mansell appeared to have clutch trouble at the start, but I'm sure he was looking after it very carefully. He didn't lose too much time. He couldn't get the car away very quickly, but he held on to his place, didn't go down nearly as badly as he did at the last start.
And now they're into the Texaco bends, coming up to the crest, which is where Stefan Johansson hit the deer at 170 miles an hour. Practice it, Piquet, Boutsen, Berger, Mansell, Fabre, and then Patrese, Warwick and Johansson. And they're coming up to the completion now of the first lap, and we'll spot where Alain Prost is in comparison with the people in front of him as Piquet comes through. And it's Piquet, Boutsen, Berger, Mansell, Fabre, then a gap. Patrese goes through, followed by Warwick. Then it's De Cesaris, then Johansson, then Nakajima. Now a long, long gap before Campos, Arnoux, Ghinzani, Alliot, Jonathan Palmer, and Alain Prost is ahead of Senna, as Boutsen in the Benetton on lap 2 in this 52-lap race, who told me before this race began, a long, long time ago this was, that he was very confident about his chances. He's got the V6 turbo Ford engine, and he's in second place and challenging Piquet for the lead.
But with Senna and Prost relegated to the back of the field with various troubles, Prost, before the start, we saw him being pushed away. His car didn't get away properly on the warm-up lap, had to start from the pit road. Senna had probably clutch trouble, because remember, these clutches aren't really designed to do 3 starts, and they're pretty fragile. Well, they're not that fragile, but when they're taking 800 horsepower through them.
And Nelson Piquet coming up already to lap somebody on the 4th lap who is coming in, and it's Stefan Johansson. Stefan Johansson touring into the pits. There is Berger, Mansell, Fabre, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Piquet goes through, and there is Patrese, and as the sparks fly on that big bump, Nigel Mansell is challenging Berger into the Hellenic curve. Piquet, Boutsen, Mansell is up into 3rd. Down to 4th goes Berger. In 5th position, it's Theo Fabre. Nigel Mansell is on his way. In the 2nd start, Nigel Mansell got away badly because he had a clutch problem. He has restarted in the same car, and Stefan Johansson looks as though he's out of the Austrian Grand Prix. There, look at that. That's the problem with Stefan Johansson. What a dreadful weekend. He hit a deer on Friday, he was involved in a start line accident here today, and now he comes into the pits minus a right front wheel. Mansell is starting to catch Boutsen, and the gap between Piquet leading and Mansell 3rd is about the same, 2.45 seconds. And that is Berger out of the Austrian Grand Prix from 4th position. And here comes Nelson Piquet. Now, the gap was 2.45 seconds between him and Mansell. It's 2.2 now. He's lapped Fabre. There's Boutsen second, who's been caught by Mansell third. Derek Warwick in the points at 6th. Andrea De Cesaris is 7th. Nakajima is 8th. Ayrton Senna going well is 9th. Alboreto is 10th. And that is Nakajima. As I've said before, put a camera on a car and it will have trouble. Piquet crests the rise. This is lap 9 out of 52. And he is firmly in command of the Austrian Grand Prix. Boutsen over the crest in second place. You just saw Mansell clearing it in third place. And Ayrton Senna has climbed to 8th position. Ayrton Senna is really flying at the present moment. The fastest lap we have so far is Nelson Piquet, 1 minute 29.074, which is a new lap record. Michele Alboreto, I can tell you, as you watch, Piquet is climbing up through the field. He has got ahead of Ayrton Senna. Mansell is the interest at the present moment. Can he catch the green, red and yellow Benetton Ford of Belgian Thierry Boutsen?
Well, certainly the leading three at the moment seem pretty evenly matched.
And we have a race here in Austria. It's taken a long time to get it, but there it is. Because you are looking at Thierry Boutsen on the left of your picture in second place and Nigel Mansell on the right in third. Here is the leader, Piquet. Look at the gap. Boutsen, Mansell. This is lap 13. Mansell is catching Boutsen. Boutsen is right with Piquet. And Mansell and Boutsen are each trying to force the man in front of him to make a mistake. The gap between Piquet and Mansell is 1.4 seconds with Boutsen sandwiched in between. Two Honda-powered cars in first and third places. Now, this is Honda's 100th Grand Prix. They've won 23% of them, 23 victories, but they have never finished in Austria.
Interesting, the pace amongst the three leaders has slowed up a little bit. They're now lapping at over 1 minute 30, whereas Piquet's earlier fastest lap was a 29 dead, so they're about a second a lap slower, and I would suspect that's just a bit of extra heat build up in the tyres, because the pace has been pretty fast and furious up front. But they've concertinaed up together, and we've got a battle on. It'll be interesting to see if Mansell can find the straight line speed to carry him past Thierry Boutsen, who's in second place. We know that the Honda, it would appear that the Honda is a bit quicker on the straights, so it'll be important to Boutsen to keep a little bit of space between him and Mansell. He doesn't want Mansell getting right into his slipstream within about 10 yards of the car.
Lap 14, race order, Piquet, Boutsen, Mansell, and there they are. Fabre is 4th, Patrese is 5th, Senna is up into 6th position, Alboreto is 7th, down to 8th is Warwick, 9th is De Cesaris, 10th is Prost, 11th is Chiva, and the first three are about to take Christian Danner. Piquet takes him up to the Hellenic curve. Boutsen takes him, but Mansell is blocked. Mansell is going to lose time there, which will give Fabre the opportunity to close up a bit on the third place Williams Honda of Nigel Mansell. Piquet and Boutsen, and Mansell is still behind Danner. You can see the gap increasing. Now he's past him.
And Ayrton Senna has moved up, as we spotted just about a lap ago, into 6th place, into a point-scoring position, but he's having a battle royal with Michele Alboreto.
Boutsen into the pits. Now, is it a tyre stop or is it something more serious? He points to the back of the car. They're going to change the tyres anyway. They always do that, irrespective of whether there is a problem or not. It's going to take longer than 9 or 10 seconds to solve a problem if there is one, so they might as well put on new tyres. And that means to say that Mansell is now second behind Piquet. Fabre is up into third place. Patrese is up into fourth. You're looking at the battle for the 3.5 metre class.
Yeah, Boutsen has clearly got some problem, because they've changed the tyres and he still hasn't moved. So effectively, Boutsen has gone from the battle for the lead. So now once again the familiar sight of the two Williams cars in front of the Grand Prix, and finally Boutsen has just left the pits. He's gone away to rejoin, and Mansell has closed up a bit on Nelson Piquet.
So those two lifelong chums, Nelson Piquet and Nigel Mansell, are battling for the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. Here they are. So now on lap 17 out of 52, Piquet, Mansell, Fabi. Then Patrese, fourth in the Brabham, Alboreto up into fifth place in the Ferrari, but some way behind the leader. Senna is sixth, Prost is seventh, and you remember he started from the pit lane. Warwick is eighth, De Cesaris is ninth, and Cima is 10th.
Matteo Fabi is slowly, gently dropping back in third place. And then quite a way behind, and Alboreto, we think.
Yes, Alboreto is definitely ahead of Riccardo Patrese now. He is in fourth place. The Ferrari man is really flying after a bad start. He's climbed up through the field. Now here's an interesting situation. The car in front is Thierry Boutsen. He has rejoined the race, and he's come out of the pits in front of the two Williams, and you'll remember he was behind Piquet and in front of Mansell. He was going just as fast as the two Williams. He will be able to go just as fast as them now. Piquet won't dare slow up because Mansell is swarming all around him, or will be shortly, and that would allow the Englishman through, which Piquet would like not at all. Boutsen's problem was gearbox. So how they've been able to solve a gearbox problem, unless it was a sticky selector or something as simple as that, as quickly as they have, I don't know. But they've obviously cured it. So there goes Boutsen, and Piquet, you can see, is pushing it. Boutsen now up with Nakajima. Now the lead could possibly change here, because Nakajima is holding up Boutsen, and the Williams are going to be with both of them soon.
Yes, this will be a worrying time for Nelson Piquet, because remember, it's the man in front who can only lose a place. So the opportunity is all with Nigel Mansell if there are any delays caused by the back markers, and Nakajima going quite slowly through that corner. And the track is blocked ahead of Nelson Piquet, who's just pulling in behind Nakajima as Mansell comes alongside him, and Mansell's got the line for the corner. So just as Nelson must have feared, Nakajima has been the nigger in the woodpile and caused him trouble, and he's moved over, he's let Mansell through, Piquet goes through, but just the break that Nigel was looking for.
Nigel Mansell is famed for his courage and determination, and you saw both of them there. He sized up his opportunity, and in the flash of an eye, he was through. There's Mansell, the new leader. Piquet, that's Nakajima. Piquet's coming into the pits. Piquet is coming into the pits at the end of his 21st lap.
Yes, and I would say this for the tyres, and that would seem a very intelligent time to do it, because he just lost his lead to Mansell. There's no point in soldiering round. Better to get onto the fresh rubber, hope the team can turn him round quickly. And Matteo Fabi has also gone in for tyres, so the leaders are now starting their tyre stops. But now Mansell enjoying a big lead at the moment, but Piquet still in second place. He's half a minute behind as Matteo Fabi goes back into the pits. Hard to see what the problem was there. They've changed tyres again, but they're holding him in there, so he's got some sort of a problem with the right rear by the look of it. So a great shame for the Benetton team, who had threatened to do so well. And there is Alain Prost, who has moved up into sixth place now. I mean, just passed Riccardo Patrese, and in fact that puts him fifth, because of course they've passed Fabi, who was sitting in the pits.
You're looking at the man now who won the Austrian Grand Prix in 1983 and 85 and 86, so it's by no means inconceivable that he can make a hat-trick out of it.
Well, Mansell's continuing to pull away from Piquet, or he did on that last on that previous lap, and there is Prost coming into the pits. So that hopefully is just the routine tyre stop. But what I couldn't see is whether Piquet was in traffic or whether he still hasn't got his tyres hot. And a marvellously quick stop by the McLaren team there, 7 seconds for Alain Prost as he rejoins.
Lap 24, Nigel Mansell leading Nelson Piquet by over half a minute, with Michele Alboreto in third place, with Ayrton Senna in the Lotus, has fought his way up into an amazing fourth position. Riccardo Patrese is in fifth position, and Fabi is in sixth place, and there is Mansell, the race leader, in the pits. Now, Mansell sprints out of the pits, and we're watching for Nelson Piquet, and I'll give you the gap as Mansell exits the pits now, and as Nelson Piquet goes past it. The Mansell is undoubtedly holding his lead, and there goes Nelson Piquet, and the gap now is down to 9.4 seconds as Mansell exited the pits and Piquet went past them. That's the leader, Mansell. Piquet about 10 seconds behind him. Both of them have changed tyres.
Piquet, of course, will not be disappointed, and there is Alboreto in the pits making his routine tyre stop. But not as quick as Prost in the McLaren, but still not bad, under 10 seconds. So Senna has moved up into third, but remember he still has to make his stop. And there is Senna into the pits for his tyre stop.
He is still in third position until Michele Alboreto passes, which he has not yet done. And Patrese comes into the pits. Lap 28, race order. Nigel Mansell is leading Nelson Piquet, who has just broken the lap record by just under 8 seconds. Teo Fabi is about 40 seconds behind in third place. Michele Alboreto is fourth, just ahead of Alain Prost, who is just ahead of Senna.
And behind, the battle for third place is beginning to look quite interesting, because Fabi leads that group. Alboreto is right behind him. Prost is only a couple of seconds behind Alboreto. Senna is 3 seconds behind them, and Boutsen is catching that group behind in 7th place. So Boutsen, despite losing all that time in the pits, is going very well indeed.
And Mansell's going very well indeed, because here is Nelson Piquet, and the gap is now 9.7 seconds. So Mansell has cleared the traffic, which Piquet has still got to grapple with, and he has increased his lead as well. Fastest lap, Nelson Piquet, 1 minute 28.4. Stefan Johansson into the pits. Let's see how his time goes. Trouble with the right front, and the seconds are ticking away for the unfortunate Stefan Johansson, who was down in 18th position. Don't forget that was the one that was damaged when he came in previously.
Yes, it's definitely not Stefan's weekend, and not really McLaren's, although Prost is out there doing his best. There is Michele Alboreto, and that's Fabi in front of him, so that is the battle for third place, and you see Prost right behind them. So the three of them are very close indeed, and Senna is only another 3 seconds behind Alain Prost, with Boutsen some 6.5 seconds away. So we've got the potential for a 5-car fight for third place.
Nelson Piquet is dropping back. The gap between Mansell, the leader, and Piquet second is now nearly 14 seconds.
Look at this battle now for third place. They're all nose to tail, and Alboreto leaving black stripes on the road as he pulled out. And I think that Fabi is in trouble, because the two of them went past him rather easily, with Prost right on Alboreto's tail.
Well, Fabi certainly ran wide there, but now Michele Alboreto in the rejuvenated Ferrari is up into third position behind Mansell and Piquet, and Prost is now up into third place. The amazing Alain Prost, the man you can never discount, the man who won last year, the year before, and in 1983 in Austria, is now up into third position, having started from the pit lane. That is Michele Alboreto down to fourth position. Fabi is in fifth place, and Senna is catching Fabi, and he's sixth.
Yes, and I must say, I would think after the trials and tribulations that Prost has suffered this weekend, if he can hold on to that place, because I'm sure he doesn't feel he's got any chance of catching the Williams, he's a long, long way behind. If he can just hold on to that, I reckon that you'll have to say that was a pretty good result for such an awful weekend. But he's got plenty of work to do yet, because got Alboreto right behind him, Fabi right behind him, Senna not very far away at all, and Boutsen not far behind the whole group. So he's got a lot of work to do yet.
And there is Eddie Cheever, who is out of the race. I wonder if he trapped his hand from the way he's shaking them as he went off on the Bosch curve, which is just about the worst place you can possibly do it. But Eddie Cheever, in the arrows, exits the Austrian Grand Prix.
And Dels Piquet has dropped well back on Nigel Mansell now. He's nearly 22 seconds behind him, and it looks to me as if he's driving for 6 points in second place.
Race order, lap 33 now. Mansell leading, Piquet is in second position. It is still Prost in third place, of course. You look at the battle for fourth and fifth. And there is Alboreto. Martin Brundle, meantime, has come into the pits. Alboreto fourth. Fabi fifth, has got Senna sixth right behind him. Look, up to the crest. Prost is third. There he is. Alboreto, Senna is through and ahead of Fabi, who has now lost 3 places, and as James says, it looks as though he's got some sort of a problem. You can see how far Mansell is ahead when I tell you that as you look at him now, we're still waiting for the third place man to come through at the end of, there he goes, Prost at the end of his 35th lap, and Alboreto is in 4th place, Fabi is in 5th position. So where is Ayrton Senna? Ayrton Senna, who was in 5th position, and now we've had Boutsen go past, so Senna has struck some sort of a problem. There he is, and the whole of his front nose wing is missing, and it's going to be very difficult to put that new one on, because a bar has to fit into a groove on the front of the nose. Let's see. The footbox doesn't appear to be damaged, but it's going to be very difficult to fit that wing.
Well, it looks as if he's had either contact with another car, which presumably would have been the back of Alboreto, or he's had a spin and just biffed the nose on the barrier, because that would appear to be contact damage.
And Andrea de Cesaris is out of the race yet again. Andrea de Cesaris has started in 10 Grand Prix this year. He finished third in Belgium, and he's failed to finish in all the others, including this one. Now, lap 43 then. Mansell leading, Piquet second, Prost, there he is in third place. Alboreto is fourth, just ahead of Fabi, with Boutsen in 6th place. Mansell has lapped everybody up to Boutsen. This is Prost. Watch him exiting the Jochen Rindt curve, starting his 43rd lap, going very, very slowly. Now let's watch the car behind. That's Christian Danner, and there is the Benetton. I think Prost has got a major problem.
Yes, he certainly has. Sounded like an engine problem. He slowed right down. So Prost really having a pretty bad season. Nothing much going right for him.
There's Alboreto. He's touring. So all of us out. Mansell continues to lead. Piquet is second. Prost is in trouble. Fabi is up to third. Boutsen is up to fourth. Alboreto, who was fifth, is now into the pits, and it looks to me, as he stops opposite us, as though it is, yes, he's out.
Mansell continues to lap very quickly, continues to pull away at the front of the field, and that looks like Patrese going pretty slowly, so Patrese dropping out like flies.
Number 5, Nigel, to his 4th very well-deserved Grand Prix victory of this year, as into the pits comes the Brabham BMW of Riccardo Patrese. Nigel Mansell leading, Nelson Piquet is second, Theo Fabi is in third position. Both the Benettons are in the top 4 places because Boutsen is in 4th place. Alain Prost, still circulating slowly, is in 5th position, and now Senna has come up into the leaderboard again with Patrese out and Alboreto out.
And there's Senna, 6th lap. A very quick lap at this stage of the race, so he is chasing hard to catch Alain Prost. So Senna, who has had a pretty unhappy afternoon, persevering to the last and really charging after Alain Prost to try and pick up that extra point.
Now, Nigel Mansell is on his last lap of the Austrian Grand Prix, having lapped the 3rd place man, Theo Fabi. It will be a brilliant win for the Englishman, who has yet again underlined his superiority not only over everybody in the race, but especially over his teammate Nelson Piquet, and that will be superb for him.
Yes, once again we've seen a 2-horse race really between the two Williamses. The Benettons and Berger's Ferrari in the early stages threatened to stay with them, but only for a short time. Mansell had a pretty straightforward win, and how well he deserved it after such bad luck at the last, and then in Hungary, this victory, and a quiet afternoon's work it's been after a couple of scares at the start. He had clutch trouble in the first restart, and his clutch certainly wasn't at its best in the second restart, but he got away, kept his head, caught Nelson Piquet, was helped a bit by the traffic to get past him, and then just roared away from him. Piquet, I know, didn't put up a fight because he wanted the 6 points for second place, but it was another fine demonstration by the Williams team.
And here he is, completing the 52nd and last lap of the Austrian Grand Prix, and as Nigel Mansell crosses the line to win, there is no checkered flag. He's gone on to his 53rd lap. But I'm sure he's won, and here, subject to official confirmation, are the first 6 places. Victory for Nigel Mansell, Nelson Piquet 2nd, Theo Fabi in 3rd place, and Thierry Boutsen 4th. And Ayrton Senna did get past Alain Prost to take 5th position, and Prost took that last World Championship point in 6th place. In the Drivers' Championship, Nelson Piquet still leads. Ayrton Senna is still in 2nd position, but now Nigel Mansell is alone in 3rd place ahead of Alain Prost, who is 4th. Williams, of course, even further ahead of McLaren in the Constructors' Championship, and Lotus in 3rd place are now only 1 point behind McLaren.
Nigel, first of all, will you carefully and slowly take your hat off? You've got an enormous bump on your head. Can you let them see it?
I don't know whether... There you go.
Right up there. Oh, I'm sorry. What has happened?
Well, the race was okay. We got in the courtesy car to go to the podium, and the guy drove off when I was standing up to give my helmet to someone, and there's a low girder, and the girder hit me across the head at about, I don't know, 5 to 10 miles an hour.
Unbelievable. But in this amazing race, 3 starts, and you had a terrible second start. What happened?
Formula One cars are just not designed to start more than once, really, and I just had clutch slip on the second start from 1st to 2nd gear. Was very lucky just to keep on going.
You've closed the gap by 3 points, but you're still 15 behind with 6 races to go. Can you do it?
Well, I'm figuring on trying to win the next 6 races, so and I think the nice thing is that Nelson's done a fantastic job this year, in as much as I think this is his 6th or 7th second place, but you can only score in 11 races, and soon he's got to start dropping points, and I can score in all 6 races to come.
Well, a quite amazing Austrian Grand Prix. And we've got a longer gap now, 3 weeks to the next one at the historic Monza circuit in Italy. By then, we're going to know a lot more about who goes where and what engines are going to be in which cars. Needless to say, Grand Prix is going to be there, and we hope that you'll join us.